everyone. We are Group 22 from the Logistics Department, and today we are here to throw more light on the question on board, which is, if critical thinking is so critical to development, why do people, even the educated, find it so difficult to think critically? If you don't go to school, does it mean you cannot think critically? Paradoxically, many highly structured people, rich men, even find themselves in fraudulent scheme. And then to talk about critical thinking is the ability to synthesize all available inputs. And today we are here to suggest ways and set standards on how to fix all those things.
Why does critical thinking matter for development? Because every problem, from poor governance to flawed policies, needs people who can reason carefully before acting. Take Ghana's free senior high school policy. Many citizens accepted it without questioning its funding, and the government didn't fully plan for the infrastructure it will need. As philosopher John Dewey said, accepting a belief without examining the evidence behind it is exactly how policies like this.
Critical thinking also derives innovation. When young Ghanaians have promising business ideas, they are often to play it safe to choose law, medicine, or banking instead. A psychologist, Levin James, called this group think. When a group desires to agree, override, and honest evaluation of the idea's actual merit, a critical thinker pushes through that pressure and evaluate the ideas on its own items.
So, in our minds, there are real obstacles to thinking critically. Nobel laureate Daniel Kahneman describes two systems of thinking. System 1, which is thinking fast and automatic, and System 2, thinking slow and deliberate. The problem is most of our decisions runs in System 1. And we often don't even realize it. That's why many people accept rumor as true simply because the person saying or sharing it sound confident without even pausing to verify it. This tendency also shows up in the Dunning-Kruger effect, where people with limited knowledge on a topic overestimate how they actually understand and argue confidently despite knowing very few.
Ghana education and culture has its own barriers. In classrooms, students find it difficult to challenge a teacher's statement even when they feel it's wrong, because that could feel disrespectful to the teacher. This same thing applies at home. This isn't an accident. Our education system, like WASSCE, traces back to the colonial education, which valued compliance over independent thinking, and that legacy still rewards memorization over analysis today. Due to this, many of us stay inside echo chambers that surrounding ourselves with people with the same mindset as us.
Having a degree doesn't mean you can think well. These are educated non-thinkers. All Ghanaian chiefs prove this. No schooling, but wise decisions through listening and judgment. The real problem is credentialism, valuing certificates over real understanding. True thinking needs intellectual humility, staying humble, and caring about truth.
So how do we fix it? It starts with education. Schools need to move away from memorization and start using debate, case studies, and work at themselves. Let students question and analyze rather than just repeat. We also need to build intellectual humility, the willingness to change your mind when evidence demands it. Psychologist Howard Works call this a growth mindset, seeing learning as something that develops through effort and not a trait that you either have or not have.
Classrooms needs to become a place where questioning is welcome, not punished. Teachers should act as guides to help students to defend their reasoning rather than stating raw facts. In today's world,
this must be extended to the media literacy to help people to verify sources and spot bias and separate facts from opinion, especially with how fast misunderstanding travels through social media.
To conclude, critical thinking is necessary for development, but barriers, cognitive and social educational makes it difficult, even for the educated. In Ghana and West Africa, we see this every day. Misinformation forwarded by the educational on WhatsApp statements accepted just because the leader said them, and the fear of speaking up to at work, at schools and home. Education alone does not guarantee critical thinking. It goes when people are trained to ask good questions, check evidence, and challenge claims respectfully. If Ghana and West Africa want stronger development and more responsible citizenship, we must treat critical thinking as a practical life skill, not just a topic in a course. Thank you.
Open by asking whether one needs to go to school before one can think critically. Then we show that critical thinking is vital to development, because with development we have to solve problems, and to solve problems we have people who have to reason critically, whether it is citizens who are evaluating the free SHS policy or group innovators who are pushing through groupthink to pursue their. Knowing that critical thinking matters is not only what is important. Section 3 showed us that even when we want to think critically, our minds are blocked by biases such as fast automated thinking and the Dunning-Kruger effect, where limited knowledge breeds overconfidence. And these mental shortcuts and barriers does not exist in isolation. Section 4 showed us that our education system and society, instead of helping us strengthen these shortcuts, that's one, through rote learning and the fear of challenging authority, as well as echo chambers where we surround ourselves with people who already agree with us. Which brings us to the deepest part of this paradox, section 5. If education is supposed to fix it, why doesn't it? If education is supposed to provide critical thinking, why doesn't critical thinking matter in education? Education can be present while critical thinking is completely absent. Credentials can quietly replace critical thinking or understanding. And our chieftaincy example, the chieftaincy council example, is a very good example about the reverse factor of this. There can be critical thinking without class. Bring us to the deepest question, where section 6 asks, then if credentials alone can't help us, then what actually is? This is 1. Reforming how school teaches, not just memorization. We need to replace this with debate and inquiry in our classroom. We need to build into our system intellectual humility. What do I call the growth mindset? This is what do I call the growth mindset. What let people revise what they know instead. And this finally brings us to section 7, where we bring this home. In Ghana and West Africa, we show that this is not just a theory, it's reality, where misinformation are spread, where we follow leaders without questioning them, and where we keep silence in our own. So what does this all